Okay, so you've been coding for hours, you've run your tests, and finally, you type git push. But have you ever stopped to think about what actually happens next? Well, today, we're going to follow the secret journey of a single code commit as it leaves your laptop and kicks off this incredible automated adventure in the cloud.
For so many of us developers, typing git push feels like the finish line, right? But in modern software development, that command, it isn't the end, not even close. It's actually the starting pistol for a race you don't even have to run yourself.
Yeah, that simple little command is the spark. It's what ignites this fully automated assembly line that's going to test, package, and secure your code with perfect consistency every single time. And you know the best part? It's completely hands-off for you.
So first up is the handoff. Let's dig into how our code makes that first critical leap from your machine into the cloud.
So here's how it all kicks off. When you commit your code to a repository, say GitHub or something similar, it sends out this automated message. It's called a webhook. Think of it like a little flare being shot up into the sky. That webhook goes straight over to Google Cloud, and it's the trigger that instantly wakes up the cloud build pipeline and tells it, hey, we've got work to do. No buttons to press, no manual steps needed. It just happens.
All right, so the code is in the cloud. Now it enters what I like to call the gauntlet. This is that automated assembly line we were talking about, where it's going to get put through a whole series of really rigorous quality checks. And this whole assembly line, it's built from a series of these things called build steps. The easiest way to think about it is that each step is just one specific job, like running a test or building a container. You just chain these individual single-purpose steps together to create your entire automated workflow. So a pretty typical gauntlet might look something like this. First, a step runs all the unit tests to make sure the core logic is sound. Next, the pipeline lints the code, which, is just a fancy way of saying it automatically checks for style mistakes and simple errors. And if it passes both of those checks, then the code gets packaged up neatly into a container, making it totally ready for deployment. And the whole time, you are never in the dark. Every single action, every success, and more importantly, every failure is meticulously recorded in what we call the build logs. And this transparency is absolutely crucial for troubleshooting when, things don't go quite as planned. Okay, so once the code actually survives the gauntlet, it needs a secure place to live. So welcome to the safe harbor. This is where we store that final polished product. And that safe harbor is Google Cloud's artifact registry. Really, the best way to think of it is like a super secure private warehouse just for your finished software. This is where all your packaged applications, or artifacts, get stored, keeping them safe, versioned, and ready to go at a moment's notice. And hey, here's a pro tip that will save you from a world of headaches down the line. A well-named artifact is a well-managed artifact. Seriously, using a consistent naming strategy with version numbers or maybe commit IDs means you'll never have to guess which version of the code you're about to deploy. It's a lifesaver. And that brings us to the final part of our code's journey, the report card. The assembly line has done its job. Now it's time to see the results and get that all-important feedback. The feedback loop is beautifully simple and direct. If it's a success, boom, the artifact gets stored in the registry, you get a notification, and it's ready for deployment. But if it fails at any step, the process stops dead in its tracks. You get an immediate notification, and the build logs will pinpoint the exact error so you can get in there and fix it fast. No guesswork. Okay, so we followed the whole journey, from git push to a ready-to-deploy artifact. Now for the blueprint. Let's lay out exactly what you need to build your own first really solid pipeline.
So here's your essential checklist. A good first pipeline has got to have automated tests for your logic and linting for style. You absolutely need secure storage, like artifact registry, and that consistent naming plan we just talked about. And finally, a fantastic starting point is to add some basic security scans to catch known vulnerabilities before they ever get a chance to become a real problem.
So, why does all this matter so much? Because this loop, this push, test, build, store, notify cycle, it is the absolute foundation of modern, efficient, high-speed software development. It builds quality and security right into the process, from the very beginning, automatically. And just like that, the journey is complete. Your code has been tested, secured, and stored, all without you having to click a single manual button. You've just built the foundation for faster, more reliable development. So now the only question left is, what are you going to streamline next?